Hello and welcome to another update video about silver. So yeah, here on the daily chart we can see the overall outlook for silver regardless of the microstructures. Just want to give you an outlook before we dive into the micro patterns. Here you can see how I see silver and why I see silver as potentially more bullish than gold. However, it hasn't really shown it yet, or it hasn't really realized this potential yet. I see here a wave 1 to the upside into the August 2020 high, a wave 2 pullback into the September 22 low, and we could now indeed be in a third wave rally to the upside. There is a chance that this here was another wave 1, this top in May 23, and we're now in a already possibly in this third wave here. Yeah. So the idea is we are in the larger degree third wave anyway, and within that third wave we completed a 1-2 setup. What happens here now has to be discussed on the smaller time frame, so we can do that in a minute when we zoom in. But before we go there, I wanted to talk to you about the projections and the possible targets for this larger degree third wave. What are the patterns like, and where should we get to? So the Fibonacci levels can be used to draw projections and possible targets. So what we can do, we take the length of that larger degree wave 1 and we compare it with the length of the current wave 3. That gives us some Fibonacci projections that are regularly reached, in third waves, and so that we can calculate targets and so on. So let me just add the relevant ones and then we can take a look at that. There's one more here. So what we normally say is that a wave 1 of 3, which was this one here, completes in the region between the 38.2 and the 61.8 extension levels. Well, it did that, right? Then we had a pullback. And then for the larger degree third wave here, so we're talking about this third wave, minimum expectations I have are the 1.236 extension target, basically. Well, that target, that's the minimum. Ideally, you would say it's the 1.38 extension. So we talk about $56 or $64. That's what usually is being reached. Now, if the wave 1 is quite short, which to be honest, this one was, maybe it's rather on the lower side, so towards $56. But yeah, there is more room to the upside, absolutely. And that shows you the potential on this chart. But we haven't really broken out in that third wave of the third wave yet. We know that typically in a third wave of the third wave, which is this one, the 100% extension level is being reached. And then we should get away for pullback before then this wave 5 of the larger degree third unfolds. And even then we should get another 4 and 5. Now that's the long-term outlook. So basically talking about levels $50 plus, right? So just wanted to share that with you. But before we get all euphoric and, get crazy about it, let's talk about what happens here in the shorter time frame. Because while it's looking good and it's all going according to forecast with those rising prices at the moment, I really don't like the look of this. So this move up, obviously at the moment, my assumption is that a wave 2 bottomed in October 23. But what is this? Yeah. So it looks very much like a corrective pattern. Let's talk about a few options here, because I really don't like the look of it. Now, there is a way to count this as a 5-wave move, even though a very, very questionable one. So that, I don't like the look of it, but it's possible to say again, this was a wave 1, and the pullback was a wave 2, and we're doing all of this now in this larger degree third wave. This is what I would lean to, okay, but it takes a successful break above $25.94, well, possibly rather $26, so this wave 1 high to confirm. I want to see those two wave 1s broken, so we can even draw a trend line here. Really, I need to see those broken to get much more confident in this wave count. The only thing really that really, let's say, annoys me about this count and the discrepancy between the overall forecast and the short-term micro patterns which definitely raises caution. It's the 3-wave look of this move up. Because if we really are in a larger degree 3rd wave, then this can't be the wave 1 of a diagonal, okay? Because an ABC structure could be in a diagonal, but yeah. You can count it as a 5-wave move with a tiny 4-5 or a tiny 1-2. You know, it's possible. Tried it, possible. Looks more like a 3-wave move, however. So in an, let's say, alternative or at least also probable scenario, you know, it's just not confirmed yet. So in a different scenario, let me just make some adjustments here. So in a different scenario, we could say that possibly this wave 2 here, which presumably bottomed in October last year, is still unfolding in a wider wave 2. In this scenario, this move down would have been a W, X, and now we're coming down in a Y wave. And this here was an A wave. This is a B wave rally and a C wave down. You see why it is so important to break above these highs, so we can basically, okay, not fully rule it out because B waves can overshoot, but it will become far less likely. So what's my preference? Well, honestly, because I see gold potentially break out, I'd like to see silver break out as well. But all I can do at this stage is, as long as we're holding support, I can raise awareness about this. And that means we could retest those lower support regions between $20 and $19 again. But it's not confirmed yet. So, and then if we talk about what's happening here really on the 1 hour time frame, we've had the completion here of probably 3 waves up. So you might remember from the last video, we talked about here the possible low in place, a wave 1 because we had 5 waves up, a wave 2 pullback. I did have a, let's say, trading zone on this chart here, a support zone. And this could have been the 3rd wave. Definitely was long enough. I mean, the 3rd wave, what they often do, they reach the 1.38 extension, which is why I gave you that target on the larger time frame as well. Well, perfect target reached. The question is, okay, you know, is this the 3rd wave? And then this could be the 4th with one more high to come in wave 5. That's what I would like to see. Alternatively, this is wave 1, but we only have 3 waves up, so don't really... I'd like to see one more high, yeah. I'd like to see, so what we need to do, we need to add these fips. So it's reached already, let's say, the minimum for this 4th wave. Then another wave 5 to come to possibly $24.91 or $25.20. Those are at least the next upside targets. And then ideally, I mean, at the moment, there's no indication the wave 4 is bottomed, could go a little lower, maybe to the 23.69 level. I can tell you that a sustained break below 23.41 would definitely make me very cautious, and it would be a first indication that this move up, which would be a 5-wave pattern, is likely going to break, because a wave 4 should not break below the 50% fib level. So I'm cautiously optimistic here, but I want to see this support zone hold, then one more high, then we have 5 waves up, yeah. It might even test that trend line there. Then we have 5 waves up, and then we can call that again a wave 1, and we can look at the wave 2 pullback to maybe find the next larger, let's say entry. Okay, that's my update about silver. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500, as well as regular updates about stocks, please check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. You'll find the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.